I nervously awaited for the door to open, and as it did, she walked through, our eyes met, and immediately she burst into tears. I ran over, I grabbed my mom, and I said, "It's going to be all right, it's okay." She pushed me away and said, "What happened? What's going on with you?" And as I stepped back, I looked at myself, sunken eyes, 25 pounds lighter, and I wondered the same thing. Now we sit here today and we talk about authentic leadership and ask ourselves, what is authentic leadership? And I tell this story to really bring you to where I started first learning about what it means to be an authentic leader. The year was 2009. I had left my investment banking job to actually start a boutique investment bank with a few former colleagues from Bear Stearns. 100-hour weeks, partying 6-7 nights a week, very, very skeptical business practices had led me to wake up every morning with a huge pit in my stomach and a lot of trepidation about the life that I was living. So even though I had success, even though the monetary aspect of what I was doing was there, I wasn't fulfilled. And therefore, I had to make a huge decision in my life. And this taught me more than anything how to be an authentic leader. I walked away. I walked away and I stepped back and I thought, what are these morals and values that define my life? And so as we ask ourselves, what does it mean to be an authentic leader? That's the first and foremost thing. In order to lead, we have to know the predetermined set of morals and values that guide all decisions that we make. And so I'd like for this to be an interactive discussion today. And with that, I ask you to take out a piece of paper. Don't think too much, but as you take this piece of paper out, write down the first 3 things that come to your mind in terms of character traits. These could be things you do already. They could be things you aspire to be. Before you think, write them down. Character, honesty, integrity, respect. Write them down on that piece of paper. Now what I want you to do is take that piece of paper, put it on an index card, these 3 words. Put it on the bathroom mirror of your home. Let these words seep into your life. Because to be an authentic leader, these are going to have to be part of everything that you do. And so see them in the morning when you brush your teeth. See them when you get out of the shower. Let them become part of your daily activity. First and foremost, being an authentic leader means living these predetermined set of morals and values and guiding others with them. The second part of being an authentic leader, to me, is this idea of true presence. And the best way to think about true presence is through a Buddhist analogy. In Buddhism, we think of the soul as this mirror that shines back pure light. And over time, this mirror, it accumulates dust, it accumulates grime through the trials and tribulations of life. And while this beautiful pure light can hit the mirror, it can be deflected, it can be tarnished through the dirt that we add in our daily lives. And so I want to do a little exercise as well. I'm going to ask you to close your eyes, take a deep breath. Whatever you brought with you today to this meeting, let it go for a second. Think back to a time in your life when you felt exceedingly free, when the world was at your feet, opportunity abounded. Think back to that moment and forget about the actual moment itself, but think of that feeling. For me, it was driving cross country between San Francisco and New York. It was driving through the fields of Wyoming, Grand Tetons in the background, windows down, music as loud as it could go, this feeling of freedom, this sense that all was in front of me. And it's that feeling that I hold on to every day that tells me that I can be an authentic leader, that that pureness of my soul is always still there. And so what I ask you to do, 3 minutes per day, it's not much time. It could be in the morning, it could be before you go to bed, maybe even when you get home, before you go into your house, when you get home from work. Sit in your car for an extra 3 minutes and recall that feeling. Bring that up, sit with it. Because to be an authentic leader, we need to inspire. In order to inspire, we need to know what our own true presence is and what that feels like. And if you do this for 3 minutes per day, you'll start to get very comfortable with that feeling. You'll start to know that feeling and start to be able to bring that into all situations in your own life, and therefore be able to truly inspire and thus truly lead. The last thing I feel really comes along with being an authentic leader is this idea of team. So think back to a very high-performing team that you were part of. What is the one characteristic of that team that made it so different than the others you've been on in the past? Research shows the one common characteristic of very high-performing teams is that they put the team before the individual. And so I ask you to step into your daily life. And it can be in a team setting, it can be in a one-on-one setting. But put someone else or put the team before yourself and see the effect that it has in your life. Because in order to lead, you need to step back and think about the empathy, think about the situations, and think about the lives of others and how the situation you're currently in can affect them. And the amazing part about Buddhism is that it asks you to go off into the world, to try these practices, to see how they work in your daily life. If they work, great. Continue to do them more. If they don't, then you and I should talk. We should sit down and figure out how we can reapply them or refocus you in a way that it does work. Because if you continue to try, if you continue to iterate, I guarantee they will work. So to recap, first and foremost, you have to know what your predetermined set of morals and values are. Let those guide every decision that you make. Because if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. Secondly, live your true presence. Sit with your true presence for 3 minutes per day. Do this every single day. Think of that visceral feeling where you felt free and you felt like everything was possible, and bring that to every situation you have in your life. Lastly, put the team before yourself. Put someone else before you and see the way it makes you feel, see the way that it affects your life and their lives as well. Because we all have one thing in common today. We're all already authentic leaders. You have it inside of you. It may be piled under work and life and the worries of money and everything else, but it's there. And the more you work at it day in and day out, the more you dedicate yourself to that, I guarantee you, the more authentic it'll become, the more real it will become, and the better authentic leader you will become. Thank you.